Okay, so here's the first batch of freezer meals that I'm going to be working on. Pretty simple. So the first thing is some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for Connor. I mentioned before, but the week that I go in for my C-section is the first week of school for him. So I just want to make sure I have some PB&Js in the freezer ready to go for his lunches. Either that or when his grandparents are here with him, if they just need to make him like a quick, lunch or meal, they can grab a PB&J with like some goldfish and some fruit and have a nice little snack or lunch for him. And then over here are the freezer mashed potatoes. I'm probably only going to make like half of these today because I am out of freezer bags. I ordered some through Walmart's little grocery pickup, but I can't pick that up for another few days. So I'm probably just going to make half a batch today, but that's what I'm starting with so far. So the next thing I'm going to work on is the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Okay, so the first batch of my freezer cooking is complete. So this is all I'm going to do today, and I'll pick back up tomorrow. So I've got 6 things of freezer mashed potatoes and a whole bunch of freezer peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for Connor. So tomorrow I'll work on a few other things. On round 2 of my freezer meals, and first thing I'm working on is some chicken meatloaf. So all I need for that is some milk, some of these breadcrumbs. I use the Italian style just because it adds a little bit more flavor instead of just using like regular breadcrumbs, and then some garlic powder, salt, pepper, 2 eggs, 2 pounds of ground beef, or I'm sorry, ground chicken. Over here I have some onions and carrots sauteing, and once those are done I'll let those cool down. I'll put everything in this big bowl right here, mix it up, and then put it in the aluminum foil pans. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be working on is the sausage, the Italian sausage for my crock pot lasagna. And in case you guys are interested, I have a video up there where I've made it before. So it's just 2 jars of spaghetti sauce and then 1 pound of Italian sausage. I'm just going to cook it and mix it all together and put it in a freezer bag. And the morning of, whenever we're wanting to make lasagna, I'll just assemble everything in the crock pot instead of making a big lasagna dish and putting it in the freezer. I just don't have the space for it, so I figured this would be easier. And sorry for the background noise. I am like super multitasking today. I've got the dishwasher going, I've got the washer dryer going, I'm still working on the chicken meatloaf, so that's those noises in the background in case you hear anything. Okay, so here is everything for the chicken meatloaf. I'm just going to take a clean hand and mix it all together. The Italian sausage with some spaghetti sauce for the crock pot lasagna. I just have it in this big bowl here to cool down completely before I put it in a freezer bag. And then here are the 2 chicken meatloafs that I just finished up, and I'm going to wrap these up and put them in the freezer. Day 3 of freezer meals, and the first thing I'm going to start working on this morning is the pulled pork. So I have a pork shoulder right here, a large onion, some minced garlic, some dry rub, some mushrooms, barbecue sauce, and some chicken broth. and I will leave the recipe down below in case you guys want to make this as well. Okay, so I have everything in the crock pot for the pulled pork, and that's going to be cooking for several hours, as you can see, so I'm just going to leave that alone. And next thing I'm going to be working on is a tater tot casserole. So I have the tater tots, so you can see we've already busted into because we're so naughty, and then a big bag of mixed vegetables. This is the seasoning I use. It's just like an all-purpose seasoning from Steak and Shake. It goes really well with the tater tot casserole. And let's see, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, 1 can of cream of chicken, some evaporated milk, and then over here I have some onion sauteing and the ground beef. Okay, so the tater tot casserole is all done. Now this is just a normal size portion that I make like in a regular casserole dish, but instead this time I decided to separate them into 3 separate pans. That way we can get 3 meals out of them. And if you're interested, I will leave a video up there of how I make my tater tot casserole. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up, put them in the freezer, and move on to the next meal. Okay, and I think the last thing I'm gonna prep for our freezer meals is the Philly cheesesteak. I'm seriously out of room in my freezer. Hopefully I'll have a chance to kind of give you like a little deep freezer tour of everything I have cooked and kind of how I stored it in our freezer. But this is pretty simple. I'm just going to brown up the Philly cheesesteak meat. I'm going to saute the onion and the bell peppers here with some of the Steak and Shake seasoning that I like so much. Yum yum. And put it in some freezer bags, and I should be pretty much done. Okay everyone, so I think I am pretty much done with the freezer meals. As you can see, my freezer is stuffed. I really don't think I can add anything else, but just to kind of give you a quick overview of everything that's in here. Here are the country fried steaks. I have 2 packages of these. Here are the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and let's see, tater tot casseroles. There's 3 of those, and then there's a smaller bag of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Back here is my freezer mashed potatoes. I have some spaghetti sauce with meat. This is the pulled pork that I just made, and then the Philly cheesesteak sliders. Probably notice I only have 1 bag. And I was supposed to make 2 portions, and that's because we just had 1 for dinner. So I went ahead and froze 1 of those. And then let's see, under here is the lasagna sauce for my crock pot lasagna, and then chicken meatloaf down there. Down here is just some extra freezer stuff, like so we have the King's Hawaiian bread for the Philly cheesesteak, some tater tots and chicken nuggets. Tater tots are down there. Hot dog buns, some frozen pizza that we got at Costco. You can see the guacamole. So just a whole bunch of stuff. I am exhausted, so I'm so glad that this is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will leave all the links to any of the recipes that I know of that I can leave links for. I will leave those down below. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.